Hey everybody, it's X-Ray Vision and David Feeder, feed the feeder.
What's going on, Hexkins? Happy
And
Saturday.
one of the most famous beards in crypto, hands down. Like people come for the knowledge and they come for the beard. What can I say?
Yeah, I mean, and the beard. Hey, I'm lucky. It's like gotta have diamond hands. I just don't touch it and leave it alone. It just does its thing.
It's got its own
Yeah,
ecosystem.
it's like a hex steak. It's just chill. It's all good.
Like Richard Hart, right? It's got its own ecosystem. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, because I feel like beards are back in style, and I've always wanted one since I was a kid. So why the hell not, right?
Awesome. Yeah, SJ Reed Sci-Vive, shout out. She has some really good editing. Have you jumped on her YouTube channel?
I have not. Does she read Sci-Vive like in its entirety?
She starts like chapter by chapter reading Sci-Vive, and she even has some really funny outtakes where she's like tripping over her tongue, and she's like, but the like it's pretty good. So Casey W in the house. How are you doing, buddy? We're just happy to be alive. Like, I woke up this morning, I tried to buy some Hedron on Uniswap V2 just to see if it would work. And
how'd that go?
I put in 1 million Hedron and I tried to buy it with USDC. So 1 million Hedron was $1.52. And but there wasn't 1 million Hedron for sale on Uniswap. Because I just wanted to like play around, see where we started out in price and watch the price, like we did back in the day with Hex you remember the adoption amplifier where it's like how many zeros till we hit a number, and then that one number, like it'd be like 4 zeros and a 1, 4 zeros and a 2, and when it went up to 3 or 4, we were like, oh my gosh, we're just losing our minds.
Yeah, because that was the hard part back then with Hex is. Because I even free claimed with Bitcoin. So it's like, oh, you sign this message and here's some Hex. And yeah, it's 0.00001 of a cent for a Hex. And you're like, oh, it's like I got all these coins, but they're worth so little. But yeah, so that's the mind trick is you have to realize at that time, that's the bargain. That's the time to pounce. That's when they're cheap. So that's when you load the boat.
Yeah, the time when everyone's like, this thing is dead. Like they just like the vultures are swooping in at that point.
Yep. And they're like too much hype. Like, oh, Hex is all hyped up. Everybody's been waiting for the first day. Everybody day one FOMO'd. They overpaid. Oh, everybody got all sad. Like, that's when you should be bullish. That's when you like load the boat.
Yeah.
Look where we went, Look at the chart. So
it's like watching, it's like a time machine. You know what's going to happen. You don't know exactly how it's going to happen, but you know what's going to be the result. And it's awesome to get another chance, another ride, another journey. SJ says she's just starting chapter 3. Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
So she's just wanting to chill with us. Thank you. Shout out to Identity Block. Dude, Identity Block had Hex Walrus on, right? Was it? No, sorry. Orca had Orca on when Orca was going through all his ideas for game theorizing the incentive token. Great stuff. Go check out Identity Block for sure. Christy and I in the house. Totally. Red Squirrel, what's up, guys? Dude, I don't know. I'm so excited because, like I was saying to you in the green room, we were in limbo since August. Like, you can go to the price chart. I should pull it up and do this like a professional. But basically, you can go to the price chart and you can see the sacrifice phase end at the end of the PulseChain sacrifice. You can see us go running up because a lot of us were hoping that we were going to be live within 60 days. You can see the price just run up to 54 cents and kind of stall for a bit. And then Richard Hart came out and said, yeah, we got a lot of work to do, right? And at the same time, the ETH fees were just horrendous.
Yeah,
they're absurd, so ridiculous. And so at that point, you could just see us just really take a hit. Then we had the second sacrifice, which gave us that nice pump back up to 22.
Yep.
And then the Wells said we got our piece. They pushed it down. We have a couple other sacrifices that just hit us recently. You got the whole crypto market tanking this last week.
Yes.
And it was just death and falling. And I had finally, after many months, got some dry powder. So when Hex was down, dude, I scooped a bag at 12. Like,
the bottom. I mean, that's the bottom, dude.
At 15. At 15.
15.
I have a bag waiting for 9 if it wicks down.
If it goes under 10, that's the candle to buy. That's anything under 10 cents. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna need like an order or a bot or something. DJ Cryptomatic in the house. How are you doing, buddy?
Yeah. To do that, I recommend matcha.xyz. It's an exchange which also goes through UniSwap and OX exchange, and you can set limit orders 9 cent hex and just let it cook. Put a 7-day timer. You're all set.
Yeah, James Harbaugh says you were trying to sell 100 Hedron. That's what it was working. And you know what? That's right. I probably was.
I don't know what the liquidity is on it. I haven't checked.
That was it. I had them upside down. You see, I'm so good at crypto. I don't know where to put the icons of the coins on
which
Uniswap.
One you're buying or selling.
Yeah, I had that
the top,
Maybe I should jump on there and give it a shot. You know, if anyone is able to buy, if someone knows how to use Uniswap properly, Jeez Louise, like if I look at my screenshot, I look like a pleb newbie. That is the funniest thing ever. Yeah, my stuff's backwards.
Yeah, just hit that little swap button, the reverse button. Yeah, scratch that, reverse it.
I'm going into Uniswap right now, and I'm gonna swap them because I have $1.50 in USDC, so I can handle that. Right.
There you go.
But I'm gonna swap them now and see what it gives me as far as liquidity and stuff like that. Of course, if you there's Hedron, right? No, I gotta bring it back in again and copy and paste the address. Anyways, the liquidity provider is like $17 for the fee, and then the ETH fee is going to be $50-$60 given. Well, actually, Gwei right now is 44 Gwei.
That's good.
So I mean,
yeah, if you're for a swap.
Yeah, if you're spending like $60 in fees or $40 in fees, you might as well be having a much bigger order, right?
Do all you can, yeah. Like buy as much as you're going to buy in one shot, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm just
pretty cool.
I'm so incredibly excited right now. I'm all amped about Vegas next week. I can't wait to go hang out with Hexicans in real life.
It's gonna be so much fun, dude. Me too. I am so excited. It's gonna be a blast. Are you coming a little early? I'm going to the NASCAR thing on Saturday. The Hex car will be racing. It's like $70 a ticket. It's on Saturday afternoon.
Well, cue the banjo music. I live in a small town, okay, like a real small town, and so my daughter's prom is the Friday when you guys are all going to be at the race, the 5th.
Oh, yep, or next Saturday, yeah.
And in my little hometown, the parents go to prom, not for the whole prom, but for the beginning. So they go for, it's almost pictures, like a ceremony. Right? Yeah, they do a promenade. They announce the king and queen, and then they do like a daddy-daughter dance or a mother-son dance where you go out and stuff. And after that, thank God, the parents bounce, right? So the kids can actually twerk or whatever. And so, like I got to go to my daughter's prom, dress up, do that whole thing. And like I said, we're in such a small town. My wife doesn't think this joke is funny. But I think that the reason you go to prom is so you can tell your kid who they're related to, so they don't hook up with the wrong cousin that night. Is that? I don't know.
That's funny. That's funny. Like, yeah, those girls right there. Yeah, don't dance close.
Yeah, you can dance with that Robinson, but do not dance with that Robinson. I don't know. Smith, Jones, Adams, you name it.
I think that's funny. That's kind of cool they do that, though. I kind of like that. Up in the north, they don't do that here. We just got in the limo. We went to prom. We got drunk and danced, and I was, got late if you were lucky and went home.
Yeah, well, and yeah, that sounds fun too. Like that's prom, right? For most places. Our town also celebrates its own birthday. So they do like pioneer dances and a whole show at the high school. They do like a birthday ball where they bring in like a band and serve refreshments, and everyone sings it has its own town song.
Okay. It's kind of like it's kind of like a town fair, but it's a birthday, huh?
Still waters run deep, you know. The gene pool, not so much. But yeah, I woke up and I was just glowing. I was like, finally, we got Hedron action. We've got Hedron trauma. Like, as I said in the green room, Hexkins are some of the smartest people in crypto, hands down. But there are a few basic things that you can vet for yourself. There's some security risks. There's the connecting of the wallet. There's the claiming. There's a lot of things that you can do, or find someone smart like I do with Dave here and say, explain this to me like I'm 3. And they do. They explain the code. There's I tweeted out, I'm going to have to find their handle and shout them out here in chat. But they sit there and they read the whole code, and then they make sure that there's no changes in the code from testnet to live, which is like,
that's awesome.
I don't know what else you can ask for.
That's like personally. The pinnacle. I'm kind of sad that I don't understand what each line of code is doing. Otherwise, I would make those videos myself too, because I would. And you're absolutely right. With the crypto, it's every participant's personal responsibility to do their own research and protect themselves. And that's what I do when I'm not, when I'm not on stream, I'm watching YouTube videos of other streamers at 2 times speed, and I'm learning. Like, that's what I'm always doing. That's how I got to where I am. That's why I am the Hexkin I am today. I've seen every Richard Hart video, some more than once, so that's how you become the best, is you learn from the best on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the homie's name. This is his Twitter handle that I just put in the comments. And the handle, and I got on there. He had I was like his 2nd subscriber, like brand new channel, and it's Arendom Cactus. It's probably a word that I can't read. Something cactus. So Arendom Cactus is what it is. And if you go to his YouTube channel or his Twitter, you can see him go through the code almost line by line and explain, this is where the code is reading the hex addresses to see how many stakes you have. This is where it's doing this. This is just a style function of how things show up on the page. And it was pretty cool. It was like, I obviously didn't understand everything, but I understood enough to be like, okay, like someone way smarter than me, more than one person smarter than me, is looking at this stuff, messing around with it. I don't know what's going to happen with the HSI stakes yet, because not a lot of people have played with it yet. So I haven't made any, but I had a a claim party at my house last night. So nice. All my onboards, I was like, look, I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to be busy the next 10 days. Just claim it. Just claim it and sit on it. Like Horton Hears a Who, right? Where he sits on that. Is it Horton that sat on the egg?
I believe so.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't in that one, but in one of the books, he sits on an egg until it cracks. Like, get that Hedron, get the bonus. The bonus is going to be duplicated on PulseChain, right?
Yep, exactly.
So
I just figured out what that user's name is. It's a random cactus. When you type in, because I'm trying to find the video though. I don't see it linked on Twitter.
Random cactus. Yeah, thank you, S-Guitar. Of course, S-Guitar just probably looked at it with, you idiots, it's a random cactus. So go to at a random cactus on Twitter, follow him, subscribe to him, give him a bunch of love, because he put in some work. He has more than one video, one that he says is rougher, one that's more watchable, but it's great. It's really cool.
Yeah, because that's useful, because that's like the biggest thing with smart contract risk. If hidden in the Hedron smart contract is a line of code that lets the contract creator wallet do whatever they want, then that's an admin key like that, and it could be hidden in there. If you don't know how to read the code yourself, you never know. Like even me, I didn't read every line of code, and I don't understand every line of code. So so that's a great service that they've done. Much appreciated. So we can see the raw truth of how it actually functions. But the CertiK audit, in my opinion, those guys did the same thing, and they were paid a lot of money to do it. So some nerd at CertiK literally sat there and read every line by line, and then they called out Alex on a bunch of things, like even the proof of benevolence function. They're like, what the fuck is this? Like, it's a function, like a named function that burns all your coins? Like, why? And Alex is just like, yeah, don't worry about that. So, like that's cool. They found that and they called them out. So
yeah.
I bet they didn't leave any I'm confident they found all the stuff. I mean, they even found an inflation bug. There was a missing parenthesis, and some math equations were out of order, and it would have broke Hedron. They found it and fixed it. So,
and this was and shout out to Alex. I mean, Alex has not hid. He's jumped on my stream. He's answered questions on my stream. He's come on my stream. He went on Maddie's Twitter space when Maddie was talking about some problems that he had with the idea of encapsulated stakes, and answered all of the questions directly to Maddie. I mean, like, if you don't want anonymous founders or shady people, like, he's about as transparent as it can be. And he's got a good sense of humor. He laughed when I called him Post Malone without the face tattoos. He's a good dude. He's just, dude, check him out. He's a doppelganger for Post Malone. I'm calling it right now. He and Post Malone were
got
just
a nice beard.
They were split at birth. They're twins. I'm calling it right now.
I think it looks better without the face tattoos, honestly. And I'm a man who loves his tattoos, but not on my face.
Yes. And here's a question that I answered 100 times yesterday. You were answering it. Everyone's answering it. So when you claim the Hedron, it's kind of like hitting good accounting. It doesn't put the tokens in your account. When you hit mint, it'll show up. So everyone I helped claim, then they're all like, and myself included, I looked for them, not realizing I didn't mint. So I made the same mistake everyone else is making. It's like, where are the coins? It's like, well, they're still locked, just like your staked Hex is locked. You're not going to see the coins. USCG vet in the house. Big shout out to him. He came and answered a ton of questions when we were just combing through this stuff and trying to figure it out. So thank you for being here, USCG vet. Thank you for the compliment, RRRV. WTS says, I hate the drama, but Maddie's concerns are 100% correct. And I don't mean about the OA, I mean the effect it might have on Hex. I want to address this one. I want to talk about this one because some people have this belief that it's possible that I could go on, do a 5555 HSI stake or a wrapped stake in Hedron and turn around and sell it for full price. And
or a premium, yes, or overcharge, yes.
Yeah, or overcharge.
Totally doable. Yep.
If I offer that to you, would you pay full price or premium for a 5555 that still has 5555 to go or close to it? What would you pay for it?
And you made that HSI stake with a 10x Hedron minting bonus. So when I buy that from you as well, I get to mint that Hedron at 10x every day, as well as enjoy the Hex stake. So yeah, it gets a premium. That's extra money. I want more US dollar coins for that. Yeah.
See, my belief is that people would not pay anything for it in the beginning because of the time delay, right? The delta, as they call it in trading, there's the delta, which is the time. So like an option that has a month to hit its mark is much more valuable than an option that has a week or a day to hit its mark and become profitable, right? And they call that delta.
That's true.
And so there's this delta cost and there's a transaction cost, because you're going to have to pay fees to move it around and wrap it and unwrap it and whatever you want to do. So I think that's all going to cut into the price of it, or what it would actually fetch on the market, and so I think that the market is going to fix a lot of things. But like you said, in the future, the price of Hex is high. Like, let's say it's valuable enough to EES. You unwrap, you buy it, you unwrap it, you EES, and you made a ton, and it's worth a ton of money in Hex that day. That's people are going to do that.
Those will get scooped up instantly. I mean, those will just be bought up on Rarible OpenSea immediately then, if it's that good of a deal. And I was debating this with Conrad Zen on Twitter last night. Mm-hmm. And Conrad has a similar thoughts to WTF down below. They feel like it's breaking the promise of locking it up, right? And it's going to be bad for the price. I don't think it's bad for the Hex price. Because when you, let's just say I buy that HSI stake from you, that hex inside the HSI, inside the jar, like it's not going to be sold on market. Like now the stake is just mine. Now I have to hold the hex stake.
Mm-hmm.
So side trading and the swapping and transfers of ownership of encapsulated stakes on the side, I don't think it's going to detract from the value of the hex because they're never getting sold. Like
yeah, so. it still hits a penalty, and the penalty still goes to people who are staked. You know what I'm saying? Like if you EES the HSI, right?
Yeah, but who would do that though, right? Like why would you?
Well, people do that right now, HSI? Right?
I am still shocked to this day the amount of emergency end stake penalties. I never imagined it would be over 2 billion hex ever. My mind is blown. That's insane. It's mostly Hex though. That's the big stuff. Like Hex 19, like he was the majority of all the EES stakes because he got hacked. So
yeah, and it would be really interesting to go on to Hedron and see how many HSIs are already going. Someone's claiming 220 Quattro Cinco stakes in the last 19 hours. I don't know if that's people doing the legacy stakes and grabbing the bonus, because you have 10 days to go stake Hex and get this bonus. You know, obviously it takes 24 hours for it to confirm at, you know, midnight UTC, right? But
I'm going to check OpenSea real quick because somebody's already posted them. If you go to OpenSea.io and you search for Hex stake instance, there's actually 12 of them
that you can see on OpenSea right now.
Right now, they're for sale in Ethereum right now. Some of these you could buy them for 1 ETH. One of them you could buy for 500 ETH. They want $1 million.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Bluebum did a tutorial on how to claim your Hedron with your staker app stakes. So I believe that's awesome. On Magic Carpet Ride's channel or on Bluebum's channel. You can go there and he walks through how to claim them on MetaMask and also how to claim them on Staker app. So he does that.
That's cool. That's very cool because Staker app is a little complicated because they use the Gnosis safe encapsulating smart contract. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like how Hedron has HSI. Well, you know, Gnosis safe also does everything on Ethereum. You could put any token you want in it, and it's like a vault. So that's cool.
Cool. USCG Vet says Maddie doesn't realize that these derivative contracts can and will be created, whether he likes it or not. And there's nothing he can do about them. In the case of Hedron, it's a bond with coupons. Big. And and you and someone else was describing it as a bond with coupons.
Yeah, it is it's if you call Hex a CD, then you can call Hedron a bond with coupons. Yeah.
Yeah. And he says if you have nothing but stakes from this point forward that are Quattro Cinco, you'll drop the APY and the emergency end stake penalties at some point in the future. But
that's okay.
That's okay because in the dynamics
Hex goes up.
Thank you, Game Theory.
Yeah.
Game Theory.
Go ahead.
You've played Settlers of Catan a couple times, I can tell.
I have it in the closet with the expansion pack. I have the expansion board too, just like a Hedron. Like, yeah, you got the 2 boards and you got an add-on and other packs you can do. Yeah.
Yeah. And
it up.
And they're saying the reason to remove stakes. So they're thinking, a WTF is saying the reason that you would stake is for the EES penalties and for the APY, which they are 2 of the reasons you would. But if you look at the interest that we've earned in the last 2 years and the price appreciation from 4 zeros and a 2 or whatever it was to, I don't know, 50 cents, that's a better, like, to me, that's like a good,
it's way larger gains than the APY. It actually blows the API out of the water, like just the gains of the coin. So,
and that's what's causing the EES is people are like, this thing that I put in, I know I haven't served my whole term, but dude, I put in $50 and now I can pull out enough to buy a car.
Yeah,
dude, boom, emergency. The weak hands, like they eat the marshmallow, they fail the test, but hey, dude, they got a marshmallow out of it. Right? Like,
yeah,
they might get diabetes, but it's okay.
Yep, that's a good analogy, man.
So, CG Vet says people are going to buy Hex, people are going to buy Hedron. People are going to stake Hex, and people are getting to create Hedron stakes. Nothing you can do about it, of course. And that was the thing, was people were talking about the OA and what the OA may or may not do. And I was like, really, the only thing the OA can do is fork Hex, and it would own the lion's share of the new fork, and then dump one if it really didn't like something. But it couldn't stop Hedron from being built on the new fork anyways.
Correct.
So it's, if it wanted to do that, but why in the world would it do something?
It wouldn't
like that. Yeah. It just doesn't.
The OA doesn't care about what's built on top of Hex, because those things don't directly affect the functioning code of Hex. It's just an expansion pack. You can still play the original StarCraft. You don't have to play Brood War. Like, you know, that's that's all.
I have no idea what you're talking about, and I love it. I love it.
We get it. It's a video game thing.
We're gonna have to spend some time together, and you're gonna have to teach me the ways of the video games, because like I said, Punch Out was like the last game I think I beat. It was Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Hey, I mean, that's a classic. Don't get me wrong. That's a great game to quit on. So,
all right. So we got some more. I'm enjoying the negative remarks better than the positive ones, because I agree with most of the positive ones. So he says, also, if you have everyone getting their 200% more T shares for staking 555 Quattro Cinco and then selling to plebs for instant profit, I don't think you get instant profit. I can understand why you're thinking you might get instant profit, because they have some features in the next 10 days that are not going to be available after the bonus. You have a T-share, which always goes up in time in the price of Hex, like it always ratchets up, right?
Yeah.
So,
but those stakes, even on OpenSea here, when I buy one of these NFTs and then I take it to the Hedron wallet or website, and then I de-tokenize it, I'm stuck with a 555 stake now. I can't sell that Hex. Like, the Hex price never gets hurt. I can't dump it. It's my stake. That's it, man. It's just like trading stakes. I think they make great gifts for family. You know, send them to your kids, the nephews, the nieces, uncles. You know, you got brothers and sisters. So yeah, this is a great way to transfer stakes to somebody, get them interested, and then they can unlock it in their wallet. They can mint Hedron every day, and then they get the Hex stake at the end.
Nice. Yeah, like there's all these benefits, and then there's the risk. The risk to everything is I put money in it, and either someone doesn't want to buy it later, or the code fails, right? And then you have a couple of counterparty risks like Ethereum fees. You have some counterparty risks like the government, the government trying to shut down all the exchanges. But
yes,
I almost wouldn't mind that, because I'm not a fan of the exchanges. I know we need them right now.
Yeah, we need we need the money from fiat to come into crypto. So we do need the exchanges. That's a problem.
Yeah, there is a platform called localbitcoins.org or .com, where you can still buy and sell cryptos in person, in cash. Like, you can go on there. A lot of them are set up for bank wire transfers or for gift cards or other means of, PayPal, Zelle, that kind of stuff. But I mean, really, I would like to see that grow a lot more, like peer-to-peer,
like cash based for crypto. Yeah, cash to crypto.
Because think about all of the homies that have their money on Coinbase, and if the government says freeze that, stop that, or suspend it, those people are all out of luck. They're not going to get their money back until Coinbase or in the government or whoever tells Coinbase what to do says they can have their money. It's not really their money, not their coins, not their keys, not their coins, right?
True. That's why I like to use I do have the Coinbase debit card, and I do have some US dollar coin, and I do spend a little, and then I get cash back in ETH. So I will admit I do, but I don't keep a lot on there. They're like a bridge. I take money from my normal bank, send it to Coinbase, buy ETH, send it to Metamask, and do my shit. Like, you want to be in and out of their pool as fast as possible.
So they're basically they're a bridge.
Yes,
right.
You should use
them. You're using them as a bridge.
Use them as a bridge.
That's great advice.
Got that ETH? You got that stuff I need? Give me that, thanks. And you just take it and go.
Bounce. I know that I have a trillion comments that we haven't got to yet, but I'm just feeling chill with this music. I'm so excited for that the storm is starting. the earthquakes are rumbling, you know, like the lightning is striking, the thunder is boom, boom, boom of all this incredible economic energy. And I mean, when Pulse hits the ground, when PulseX starts running, when all this stuff comes out, and Hedron was the first thing to actually, you know, kick the door open and start the party. They're like, hey, this stuff's live, play with it, jump in it, trade it.
No sacrifice. Yep. You just mint it and it's yours. It's a free gift to Hexicans.
Yeah, cool. A whole new game, like a board game, was just brought into a house where all we had was, you know, checkers. We were getting really good at checkers in the cabin, right? We knew everything about every move in checkers, and then someone jumped in and they're like, hey, here's an expansion pack for that checkers where they can eat each other and gain their power, or whatever it is. Like,
and with Hex, if Hex is checkers, like the best move in the game is to wait the longest and do nothing. So it's like, oh my god, I got cabin fever. Like,
yeah, and it's insane how rewarding it is to wait. Like the gains from waiting for 2 years have blown everyone's mind. No one, when I explain to people what Hex has done in the last 2 years, they just don't believe me. They've straight out been like, that's not possible.
Yeah, even when I look to this day and I pull up Staker app and I'm just like, you know, you like double take, you're like, whoa, like, yeah, it happens. It's true. And the staking saves your paper hands. I would have already sold more if I wasn't staked. Just mentally, I would have been like, wow, this is a lot of cash. I need this cash. I got bills. Like,
it saves you from yourself, and it helps you deal with sudden wealth syndrome in a way that winning the lottery or, you know, making it big somewhere, you'd wreck yourself.
Yep.
I mean, most likely.
That's so true.
So if Hedron HSI take off, what will happen to the supply of Hex in 5,555 days? I think it's going to get scooped off the market, or most of it, right?
Yeah, because if the OA is 90%, and there's really only 10% of all the Hex out there available. Well, I think a good chunk of that is already staked. So so there's only really this much Hex available. So once everybody starts HSI 555 those, it's just there's less and less Hex available, and the price of Hex goes up and up. That's it. Right. Simple supply and demand.
Sure. This is great. KCW says Settlers of Hexico. I like that. We're gonna have to make that game.
Please make that. Yeah, that'd be the coolest board game, dude. That'd be the coolest board game.
Dude, so right now people are buying domain names just based on that idea.
Settlers of Hexico.com.
Yeah, so exactly. Oh man,
it's awesome.
Yeah, thanks for the great info. Federal, I think he means feeder. Yeah. Federal, can you tell us a little on how to delegate with you?
I sure can. If you go to my YouTube, David Feeder, in my video last night, I showed exactly how. Boom, there you go.
Yeah, go to. People forget that you have a YouTube channel because
I don't post a lot.
You're generous, and you spend a lot of time on other people's channels, and you spend a lot of time in the Twitter space stuff that, you know, they get their feeder fill without going, but they should definitely go to your YouTube channel and check out.
I will admit, part of the root cause I don't stream a lot is because where I'm sitting, it's my like living room, right? And this is like an Elgato portable screen, so I don't have my own office yet. I live in a tiny house, so I need a bigger house and then with an office, and then I'll stream way more because it'll be quiet. There's a lot of noise around here.
Yeah, and the game theory is never ending. Like when we were trying to talk with Blue Bum a couple days ago, he was going so deep about how you can use one HSI to cover another HSI that might be doing some risky shit, and then it was like, or how you can like take out a loan, buy some Hex, stake it to get more Hedron to take out a loan. It was like the whole Inception thing we were talking about.
Yeah, and that's true, because even if you have the old school Hex stakes, and they're called native in Hedron, like you can't borrow in those. But if you got a bunch of those, you can borrow your new HSIs and you just pay it off with your old regular stakes. Works like a charm. But I wouldn't recommend that though. I'm not into the borrowing. Let me be very clear on that. Don't click the freaking borrow button at Hedron. Just don't do it. All right.
Someone says, David, be honest. I'm not sure what they're referring to.
I always try to be honest. I always tell the Hexicans the truth.
And then WTF's, he's still claiming the Hedron. He's just saying Maddie does have some valid concerns. And as far as I can, and maybe I misunderstand Maddie's concerns, but the concerns that I hear from Maddie are that these will devalue the time locking, like the commitment that you're making, right?
Yeah.
Because we're monetizing time, and in his mind, it sounds like he thinks this takes away that monetization of time.
And on a psychological level, and on a human brain level, because he's into the, he wants people to save for their future. That's kind of true. If I can just tokenize and sell whenever I want, it's like I'm not stuck with it for 5555. So it doesn't, on a mental human level, it's true. But the code doesn't care. So not sorry.
Where'd you get the Hex mug?
Oh, this is OG shit. This is like 2 years ago on Redbubble when all the Hex merch was like bootleg shit. Like it's even peeling and stuff. So I don't know, man. Like good luck. But it was Redbubble.
Redbubble. The market will determine. That's true.
Yep. And I must admit, I much prefer hexmerch.com now, ran by Motley Investor and Legion VC. They make all the threads, cups, water bottles. Go to hexmerch.com.
Yeah. Now it says new here. Can you give me an example of 100,000 Hex stake, 4 days on Hedron? So I did a 10,000. I did 10,000 last night, so it was 10 times less than that. But that'll give you 1.4 T shares. And 1.4 T shares will give you 1,400 Hedron per day. Because 1.4 T shares is 1,400 B shares. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And you get 1 Hedron per B share per day.
Correct.
Except for you, if you claim them in the next 10 days, you get 10 times that.
So it's 14,000 Hedron you can mint per day for that one stake for just 10,000 Hex. Yep.
Yeah. And if anyone in chat or even anyone wants to come on and talk about possible negative effects of Hedron, come on or add stuff to the comments if we're missing something. And here's Cryptosloth replying to WTF. So it says, even though people can get 3 times the T shares for less Hex, we'll still know that there is less Hex in these stakes. So the number of T shares is not the only metric evaluation for the stakes.
I don't understand the question, but I don't think
Cryptosloth, you gotta and Cryptosloth, he might have been the one that was trying to post a link to a video the other day that didn't come through, so I apologize for that, but we'll try to figure out and get him figure out what he's saying here. If you want to comment and follow up on that and give us a little more background, then we'll respond to that. Hexaco and Hedronia are the great states of mind. So we got Hexaco and Hedronia now. This place is crazy. So he says, hopefully it'll drive the price of Hex sky high and I can dump on everyone's head, LOL.
That's the whole point, right? That's what everybody's trying to do. That's how it works.
Yeah. Hex McKenzie says, is the music loud or am I the only one? I'm going to turn it down a little bit just in case it's too loud or distracting. I'll put it right about there. If it's still too loud, let me know. If it's distracting, let me know. I'm just enjoying the vibe because we've been swimming, watching price go down for 7 months. We believe in the product. We believe in Hex. We believe in the community. The market doesn't reflect that because everyone is losing patience, waiting for Pulse to drop. And I know you're not supposed to say that. And I know all the Hexkins on Twitter are like, it'll be done when it's finished. It's worth the wait. And it's like, I agree with that. Sure. Great. Fine. But we were expecting it in October based on what Richard Hart said, and I can forgive him for misjudging the time. But when you have an expectation in mind of a certain time frame and some of these people were sacrificing their rent money, which they shouldn't have done. Obviously, they're gonna face the consequence of that. But even me, I put a lot of powder into the sacks because I was like, man, here we go, like let's go. And the powder's been locked ever since. And we've had some tasty dips that
absolutely
I would have been grabbing some of that Hex had I known it would have been this long. Now, you know, that's my mistake, right? Like always keep plenty of dry powder on hand.
Yeah, and you never know what's going to happen next. And there are macro events that are affecting the whole crypto market and all the markets. So yeah, things happen, prices fluctuate.
Yeah. And Hex McKenzie, she likes the lower volume. Hex McKenzie was dropping that meme of the rock, that meme that just had me rolling. You remember that one? So it said there was a meme that said ETH 2.0, and it had the pet rock NFT, and then it said PulseChain, and it had the 555 diamond. We're like, this is the difference between ETH 2.0 and Hex. It was just brilliant.
That's cool.
Love it. Shout out to Hex McKenzie. She's got some killer Twitter.
That's clever. I like that.
He or they. You know, I like their profile pic. It's cool. So it says, yeah, when version 3?
So that could come any day. That could come any second. I've got the GitLab right here. I push F5 every once in a while, and I'm waiting for that update. And then you restart the validator and patch it. And the next big one, it should have all the PulseChain sacrifices. So you'll log into the PulseChain testnet, and if you sacked, there's all your test pulse waiting for you, with all the zeros, and you get to, count all your pulse.
That's awesome. So you're that's what you're going for is V3.
Yeah,
test that V3.
Yeah, that's the next big patch. Yep.
Okay. What's a Hedron site? Want to look into that? It'd be hedron.pro. So it's hedron.pro. You connect it to your Metamask wallet, and you're giving it the right to, or the privilege to view your wallet. You're not giving it the right to do anything else, and you're gonna pay some fees in ETH to claim your Hedron based on your Hex stakes. Cryptosloth says, okay, so an HSI stake on the secondary market needs to be valued somehow. An obvious way is number of T-shares, but you can get one T-share for 21,000 Hex for a short time, or 7,000 Hex for Cuatro Cinco. Because I mean, right now the straight up price of a T-share is about 21,000 Hex, and you only have to invest a third of that if you do Cuatro Cinco, because you get a 200% bonus.
Correct.
Right. So that is cool. And I asked Alex about this, like the secondary market and valuing it. So like if a Hedron is a derivative of a B share, and a B share has a cost in US dollars today, $2, $3, $5, whatever it's been lately.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I'm guessing it's going to be a fraction of that number would be one way that you could value it. And then of course the other way is supply and demand. But supply and demand is tricky with Hedron, because on one hand it burns, right?
Yes.
So there's two burning function. There's one function that burns when you pay back your advance. There's another burn function if you win an auction and buy someone else's T-share that they defaulted on with their advance.
Yes.
So you have it on one side. However, every time someone creates a B share, they have the ability to claim and mint more Hedron. So it's a very dynamic supply that it'll be really interesting to see what that price does, right?
Yeah, that'll fluctuate over time. Yeah, that'll go up and down and wiggle, and and I think for these stakes here, that I'm seeing on OpenSea, the way I'm going to personally measure them for value: how much Hex is inside, how long is it staked, how much would that cost me to do right now just in Hex? Okay, it's $1,000 worth of Hex. They 555 it. Great. Then it has the 10x Hedron mint bonus on it, so I get that as well. So yeah, if you add those two together, that should give you a rough idea in your mind of how much you might be willing to pay for it. It's up to you. Some of these are up here for 1 ETH, so it's like about $2.5 grand. and they have 1 T share, it's a 5555 for an ETH. That's $2,000. Is that how much the Hex cost? Maybe. It's pretty close. So it's up to you. I don't know.
I like that reasoning. And the other thing is, what do you plan on doing with the encapsulated stake? Are you planning on trading it and flipping it, or are you planning on incubating that baby and waiting it out and getting that reward at the end of the stake?
Yeah, for right now, I think me personally, the ultimate play, I'm not tokenizing my HSI stakes. I'm just leaving them in my Metamask wallet. I want that copy on PulseChain for free. So if you hold all these now and don't sell them on OpenSea, I wouldn't be selling these yet, you get a free copy of them later. So I'd wait for that.
So here's the other half of Cryptosloth. He says, both stakes are 1 T-share, but would we value them the same, or has one hex, or has one more hex in for shorter, the other has less hex for longer, but they have the same number of T-shares? So he's saying, like, you're using the bonus to get the same number of shares. As far as Hedron, they're both going to mint the same amount of Hedron, but one's going to hit Hedron for longer.
Correct. And Hex for longer. The one that's staked longer gives you more Hedron and more Hex. So
it would be valued. It would be more valuable in my mind. I could be wrong, but
I agree. One T-share for longer is worth 1 T-share, worth more than 1 T-share for shorter.
Big GZ says, damn, rent money and the landlord is knocking hard.
Hey, if you don't have a bag yet in crypto and like you got to skip a rent payment, like I know people that have done it for Hex and it worked out for them. So like, sometimes you got to take a risk sometimes, but I don't recommend doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. And Russ, find that meme of Hex McKenzie. It's definitely funny. So the concern that the longer pays better bonus would break the valuation of these stakes because you can get more T-shirts for less is not true in my opinion, because there are many factors to go into. And that's true. Longer pays better in Hex and in Hedron, because Hedron is a derivative of the T-share function.
Perfectly said. That's it. You nailed it.
Thanks.
That's exactly how it works. Longer pays better.
Lewis Hex, good afternoon. X-Ray, Senior, Feeder, the Hexagon Familia.
Hope to see you in Vegas, good sir. I hope you're there.
Yes, we will. I wonder if he and T-Money are gonna do another awesome karaoke rendition for us, because they were going crazy back in June.
Yeah, were they nailing it? They were the karaoke masters. Nice.
Yeah, bring me on. I can try to explain. Cryptosloth, what's your Twitter handle? Because I mean, I can't send you the link in YouTube, or can I? Maybe I can. If I found him on YouTube.
I think it's just a Gmail account. Like a YouTube account is a Gmail account, so maybe you could send them an email, but I don't know about that. I
don't know. Drop your Twitter handle and I'll just DM you the link and come on, because we're just I'm just chilling. I'm just happy to be here, happy to talk about this. I left you guys high and dry. People were calling the stream we did a couple days ago Tech Talk, and I guess technically it felt like a Tech Talk, except for, again, we're missing Rags. Rags is busy again today, but I'll call this a Tech Talk. I don't know. Like I said, I might be able to do a Tech Talk on prom day, but you're going to be at the track, right, on the 5th?
Yeah, I'm going to be in Vegas.
So you can just do sign language over your phone because of the noise of the cars. We'll have someone, a translator here, that's like, people would still tune in to read your sign language. Dave, you're a popular man.
If we could stream from NASCAR, I think it's illegal though, because we'd be rebroadcasting the race technically, so we can't stream there, to my understanding.
Yeah, let me scroll down and see if so it's at Cryptosloth3. So I'm gonna send you the link on Twitter here. Bring it on. In the meantime, do you want to answer that question on the screen, Dave, about the stakes?
Yeah. So for Goldfish, he says, "Man, I've got so many stakes. Do I have to claim each one?" Yes, you do. And Alex, the inventor of Hedron, he thought about it and tried in the beginning a button that would have let you do all your stakes and mint them all in one shot. That would have actually cost more gas. So yes, it sucks. You got to click on everyone, but it's actually more gas efficient. So have fun clicking.
Yeah. So I found a Cryptosloth 3 on Twitter. He's got a profile picture of a pigeon, but he has to follow me back before I can DM him the link. So if he's watching this and he wants to do it, typed it backwards. Wait, so it's 3 slipped. So is it 3 sloth crypto? I don't know. Still USDC bullish on, let's see here. There's another great question while I go up here. So still USDC bullish on PulseChain, thanks. So do you still think USDC is going to be on PulseChain?
Well, I think Circle as their company organization, will they officially support PulseChain and deploy a new US dollar coin contract on PulseChain? I do. I do. I'd bet they do. Now the PUSDC, the free fork you get, that won't be officially recognized. It'll still have some value, but you can't cash it in at Coinbase. So it's not really that useful, right? It's just going to be, that's not going to be worth much. So, but if Circles they did AVAX and a bunch of other shit coins and chains, so there's no reason they shouldn't accept PulseChain, and then officially you can send US dollar coin to Coinbase from PulseChain and they'll approve it. I'm bullish on it.
Awesome. I'm still trying to figure out Cryptosloth saying, and okay, so yeah, it says Cryptosloth 3. So if he friend approves me or follows me back, I can send him the link, bring him on. In the meantime, let's just keep going through a whole bunch of these. Completion Fells gets a thumbs up. How you doing? Bobby Hexelrod in the house. What's up, gentlemen and fam? It's good to see you, of course.
Good day.
Hex McKinsey asks, when I claim I lock the bonus, but I still make Hedron, ? Or did I kill the golden goose?
Oh no, you're fine. If you claim, it just locks in the bonus, but you didn't mint yet. So so your wallet still says 0 Hedron. If you click mint, first it auto claims and then it gives you all your coins and it mints them. So no, you're fine. Either way, claim or mint. If you just claim, you have to mint later. That's fine. And here's a high level strategy. If you just claim and don't mint your Hedron and you wait on Hedron, there's something called the AMR bonus. And in the future, if a lot of people borrow Hedron and pre-mint, then there'll be a day where you can go and click the mint button and you'll get way extra. Like it's a multiple on top of everything. So claiming and waiting and minting on a certain day with that bonus is perfect. That's the ultra diamond hand play.
Yeah, and that's exactly, Benny Blanco answered that, but forgot the AMR, or as Bitfinesse says, ASMR bonus.
ASMR bonus. I should start using that.
Russ says he's going back to the books on pricing other financial instruments like very long call options and 0 coupon bonds, because that's really what this is.
I mean,
some of those dynamics are very similar to the Hedron and Hex stake dynamic.
This is the blockchain equivalent. Yep, which is even better.
USDG Vet says if you don't want the 11x bonus on all your Hex stakes, you don't technically have to claim. You only need to claim if you want each stake to have the 11x bonus. And after 10 years, it's going to be the 9x. And then, after 10 days, it'll be the 9x. 10 more days, it'll be the 8x till there's no bonus. So it's 100 days of the bonus, shrinking. Jawa, what's up, bros? Hey, Jawa, how are you doing, man? Yeah, the music feels like it's not really live. It's freaking me out, bros.
Keep calm and stake, man. We're just chilling.
Boof on the beat says, why was Maddie freaking out about Hedron? We covered a lot of that at the beginning of this. And like I said, I may not understand his position very well.
And he actually just did an update video where he clarified his position and apologized for some FUD. So check Maddie YouTube's video. He just has a new one. Just came out. So everything's cool, man. Maddie's fine. We're good. He's just nervous. That's all. It's all good.
Yeah, and I'm glad he's concerned about this community. That's not a bad thing to be concerned, like actually be protective. But if you're you know, if maybe you don't understand something, or if you're, in some cases, it feels like he's speaking for Richard Hart or the OA. At that point, it's, you know, that can mislead some hexagons. Some hexagons might believe what you're saying about the OA, or about what you're saying about the OA or Richard Hart is true, when it may not necessarily be true.
Yes, that was the #1 complaint, but that's been rectified, and Maddie apologized, and we're all good now.
There we go. Thanks, Peter. I'm trying this other Twitter that Cryptosloth has. This might just be an elaborate trolling.
Oh, you're getting
he's just going to send.
Yeah.
He's just going to keep sending me different like people on Twitter to follow that are not him.
Yeah, because his first message said, "I'll jump on," with like a lol's face. So yeah, it's a troll.
Who knows? Let's keep going through some of these questions while we're doing that. Okay, but paranoid, Boof on the beat. Let's be mindful of saying freaking out. He's our resident mental health guy. Let's say animated, LOL. I like that. I mint at the last day of the end stake, long stakes, because if you mint with intervals, then you pay lots of fees in total. Yeah, so you can save in fees. It does make sense to claim today.
I would imagine that's
versus claim.
Yeah, he's claiming and then he's going to mint at the end.
Because you can only mint what you've already served. So if you've served 172 days, you'll get that bonus and you can mint it, but you can only mint up to 170 days.
Correct. Unless you do the pre-mint, and then you got to pay it back monthly.
Yeah. So Sloth says he's not trolling. Sorry for the confusion.
Get out of here.
And then Pulsar Bader says Elmer Fudd. That's funny.
Elmer Fudd.
Oh man. So I got a question about Vegas. Are you going to the mansion party?
Yeah.
By Nagabo on the night of the 9th, because there was only like 7 tickets left today.
I bought a ticket like 3 days ago, so yeah, I got a ticket.
Dude, that's crazy. Here we go. Okay, so I think I found David Sanchez, aka Cryptosloth. We're gonna go to his page, and I'll DM him the link here. You can hop on. I would just paste the link in. Oh wait, no, that's his Twitter. That's the Twitter name of the person I just shouted out. Let me try this again. I would put the link in the comments, but I'm afraid the green room will get a little full.
Yeah, I mean that's what they do on the Discourse Syndicate F and Hangout. They just RG3 just dumps that shit right in YouTube chat, man. Like, come one, come all. But
you know what? If RG3 can handle it, I can handle it. I'm gonna paste this in the comments. And if you show up in the green screen, don't get your feelings hurt if I don't bring you on here if you're stuck in the green screen because we're talking, or just because we're full. I don't pay for the premium of StreamYard yet. I mean, I guess I could, but I've used it so much without paying for it. It kind of feels weird. It'd be like starting to pay your girlfriend for sex after a while. It's like, well, let's see here.
No comment.
Maddie Allen's in the chat saying, "What's up, guys? Good to see you, Maddie."
Hey, Maddie. Yeah, man, it is good to see you.
I want to add Cryptosloth to the stream here. What's up, buddy?
Hey, dude.
What's up, everybody? How's it going? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. It's good to see you. We can hear you.
Yeah, sorry about the confusion there.
That's okay. I was like, I don't know how to reach out to this homie, but now everyone's got the golden key just to at least get into the green room.
Cool.
But so do you have a question, or were you trying to make a point that different lengths will determine different values on the staking side or on the Hedron side?
Yeah, so I was responding just to a comment that I saw in the chat about a criticism that I heard just in various streams that I've been listening to, and that's that the bigger, longer pays better bonus of Hex would be able to get you more T shares for less Hex, obviously, and that could break the valuation of these stakes on the secondary market because you could pay like 5k Hex and get the same amount of shares for 15k Hex. And you guys were talking about this briefly, and essentially my point was that while that's true, there are multiple factors that go into evaluating these stakes on the secondary market. So how much Hex is currently in the stake, how much Hex has been earned by the stake, the bonus multiplier, the Hedron that you can get, all of these factors go into the valuation. And to kind of go off your point, David, yes, the longer pays better would intuitively seem like the better option, but also getting more Hex maybe in like a year or a couple months could, for certain situations, be very beneficial, because Hex is the key in the present to the T shares that you get that pay off in the future. So it's actually very valuable to have liquid Hex now. And for certain situations, that could be very valuable. And maybe you see something that's undervalued on the market that has maybe equivalent T shares as something else going in the future, but you're going to get more Hex now. And maybe you can do something with that Hex now that will allow you to do greater things for the future.
So you're saying like stay versatile, keep some dry powder, have some options, stay or flexible, right?
Yeah, being flexible, and then also my general point is that the valuations of these stakes on the secondary market is like very multifactorial, and it's just because you value the stake at this high, or the person selling it values it at this certain price, doesn't necessarily for you it's going to be worth it. Somebody could undervalue a stake with certain parameters that to you is much more valuable because of your particular situation. And that's really important to keep in mind when you're on the secondary market looking for stakes. Yes, the simple brain, quote unquote low IQ on the left side of the bell curve, longer pays better, more T shares, that's the most valuable one. Yeah, but once you start getting to the wrinkle brain side of things, maybe you could start playing with these parameters a little bit, and maybe you can extract a little bit more value or accumulate more value relative to whatever situation you have with whatever coins or whatever your Hex situation is.
I like that. That's a really good point. And like we had all of our strategies up to this point had to deal with how much liquid, how much locked. Yep. Or staking ladders. Those were our two strategies to play the market, or to and now this is just, and it's
crazy the level of complexity that's been added by, honestly, again, what's a simple protocol. Nothing about Hedron is really that complicated when you understand it, but just like Hex, you can make it as complicated as you want or as simple as you want. And then we just added a layer of that together, and it's awesome. Yeah. I love what's going on right now.
I like your shirt though. Let's stand up a little bit. Let's see your shirt. Let's talk about Hex, baby.
I got this free at the raffle for one of the Hex meetups.
Which one did you go to?
The Crypto Sparbuck one. I won't dox myself on my location.
You don't have
much,
to.
But yeah.
But that's awesome that you caught up. You got some swag at the workshop.
Those are fun. Those workshops.
I loved it. It was really cool, because it made a lot of this a lot more real, for somebody who just exists and sees all this online. And, it's awesome that I'm talking to you guys, but still on this kind of electronic medium. Just meeting people around me in my area who are into this too was really an awesome experience.
Yeah, it's crazy meeting a Hex kid in person. And the thing I realized with because I was hosting the Salt Lake meetup, nobody on earth knows about crypto. And out of the tiny group that knows about crypto, a tinier subset understands Hex and T-shares. Like we're so early, people like, oh, it's too late. It's too late. It's already hit 50 cents. It's like, are you crazy? Do you know how high this could go if it does half of what Bitcoin did? And Bitcoin is in a lot of ways inferior to Hex. Like just I'm biased, but even from a technical aspect, and just the things you can do. If Bitcoin would have paid me to hold it, I would have retired 5 years ago.
Yeah,
because I held on to that. I held on to that stuff for years, and all it gave me was ulcers, because I was so worried I'd have to sell it before it's it moved.
Yeah,
that's the line that I use a lot for people when I just kind of I won't say dog whistle, but just try to slide it in about Hex. Like, man, what if Bitcoin just paid you to hold it, and I just let that go, and people are like, yeah, that'd be pretty great.
That'd be awesome. Someone should really put that together.
And the crazy thing is, it's actually not that crazy of an idea. You just take a percentage of the inflation that goes to miners and just hand it out to people who are holding it. At least thinking about it, it's not oh my God, this is a major change to Bitcoin or anything like that.
Yeah, it's just virtual mining, right? A T-share is like a ASIC box, but it just lives on the blockchain. It's not even a physical object. So yeah, that's it.
So,
Vet says, my only issue with Hedron is that I was expecting a massive dump yesterday where I could pick up trillions of Hedrons for a few bucks. It hasn't happened yet. Please dump your Hedron.
I mean, hexagons aren't dumb, man. They got diamond hands, and you got to be a hexagon to get it. So this is a tough market, man. The Hedron price it's going to be interesting.
Well, my strategy is to claim all the Hedron I can claim for now, and sit on it for 2 years or until we get that AMR bonus. You know, if we're offered an AMR bonus, just slap that baby on top of it and mint that day.
Yeah,
you know?
Here's a heuristic I've been using to kind of gauge, obviously it came out yesterday, so the price is volatile and it's hard to figure out what's a good price for like the Hedron that I'm getting. And this is the heuristic I've been using. I calculated out all the Hedron I would get if I served the entirety of my stakes with the 10x bonus. And then I said, okay, if I put $100, $500 now, what percentage of my total bag would I be getting with this purchase? And then once we start getting I saw like the first day, I was like, I put in a couple $100 and I get like near half of everything I would get in 15 years. I'm like, that's a good buy, because you have to, because the only way to get these coins is by having Hex stakes. So in a way, putting money into the Hex system is how you're able to get these coins. So if you put less money in on the market, that kind of allows you, it's almost as if you had these stakes, but you didn't. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're buying other people's stakes that they didn't want the Hedron, and you're scooping that up for dirt cheap, and then you're saving it and taking it off the market, right? Yeah.
Yep. That's exactly, and that's kind of even now, like I've been watching the chart and it's going up and down, and I'm just using that as like, okay, you can throw another tenth of an ETH in there, you can throw another couple $100, let's accumulate all my yield farming rewards, just have it sitting there ready to just like slowly cost average in.
Yeah, and a lot of people are overlooking the idea that if someone hands you free coins and you don't like them or you don't want them, you can always park them as a liquidity provider on an exchange and collect fees all day, and then you can put that into whatever coin is your darling, right? Like
that's true too. That's actually a good point. I didn't even think about that. You could just let them sit in UniSwap, and or you could even use that to dollar cost average out. If you don't want Hedron, you do one-sided liquidity providing on UniSwap versus US dollar coin, and as the price goes up, you just swap out to USDC and then you're done. So interesting.
You're gonna have to, I understand what you're saying. How do you set that up, David?
It's a pain in the ass, and the problem is if the price of Hedron goes back down, it gives you Hedron again and takes away the USDC.
Okay, yeah.
So you'd have to put in your Hedron and a little bit of USDC, wait for the price of Hedron to go up, and then pull it out. Okay. So good luck catching it. It's like I would just use Macho.
Some of the Telegram groups I'm in, I've been seeing people doing that. It's pretty advanced.
Yeah.
But I was watching, I was like, smart.
If you can pull it off, it's slick though. Yeah, it's cool as shit. Like you're a pro, man. Like damn, you're making money.
I like John Wallace's idea here. His strategy says claim and then just mint each stake. Each Hex stake is due, then sell the Hedron to pay for the ETH fees to unstake. So he's saying this is a way for you to cover some of your fees. If you do nothing else, you could harvest the Hedron coin at the end of your stake, dump it on the market, and that'll help pay for your fees.
Yeah, it's like free gas.
That's pretty free gas. It's pretty cool.
That's really cool. Yeah, that works too. And if you're lucky, the price of the value of the Hedron will be even more than the gas, and you'll have leftover spare change.
Oh, Maddie Allen is announcing that Aubrey de Grey will speak at the Hex conference in person.
Whoa, that's awesome, man. That's a huge announcement, dude. That's great. Holy crap.
That's crazy.
Very cool, man. Very cool.
Yeah, people are excited about that in chat.
Wow. All right.
JJ Hex says we need to be a little less Hex maxis. I like Hedron, but Hex is number one. And really, if without Hex, you wouldn't have Hedron.
Literally, because the Hedron contract calls the Hex contract. So it's
what are you gonna do? Build Hedron on Celsius?
No.
No.
You ain't building shit on Celsius.
Right. That's what I'm saying is like the Richard founded this beautiful walled garden sandbox to where we can let people come and build on it but not destroy the base, not destroy the actual garden. You know, they can come in with their Ponzi's, their hourglass games, and whatever they want. I mean, I kind of like the idea of the free Pulse IO. You know, even though there's a lot of gambling games and stuff in there, that's how I got started in Bitcoin in like 14. Was I bought Bitcoin so I could play Ether Roll. Or was it Ether Roll or Ether Dice?
Well, it was Ether.
No, Satoshi Dice. It was Satoshi Dice. So Ether Roll was Ethereum, but Bitcoin. Yeah, so I bought Bitcoin because I was bored up in the oil fields, and I started playing Satoshi Dice and just gambling on my laptop or on my phone in my spare time. And then I started learning like what Bitcoin actually was from, you know, the freedom movement, where they're like, this is going to save us from the banks and the government. And spoiler alert, it didn't. But like I was all for it. Like, it excited me enough to really wrap my head around Bitcoin back then. And I completely missed the Ethereum train, because that's when Ethereum was 15 cents. Like, I was there when everyone was like crazy about Ethereum. And I was like, hold on. I'm focusing on Bitcoin right now. So I missed the Ethereum train, but you know, you're never too late in crypto or a new technology.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
You think you are, but you're not. There's always something crazy around the corner.
And just the compliment free pulse.io, they have a faucet where you can go, and every day they will be giving away their own pulse for free. And every 24 hours, there's even a chance you could win up to you click the faucet and it's like, hey, you get $200 worth today. Congratulations. Mm-hmm. So super.
I'm going to use it for all of my onboards. Before, I thought I was going to have to like send them a little bit of pulse to like just get them started, because then maybe I got them to sacrifice, so they just have their hex for their coffee. But I was like, hey, just go to the site, you know, you get a little bit of pulse, and hey, if you want to accumulate a little bit every day, I don't know, was it every hour, every day? I don't remember.
I think each person can go every 24 hours, a minimum. Yeah.
And just, you know, start stacking a little bag of pulse for yourself. Why not?
Yeah, for
maybe get lucky, maybe get $200.
yeah, that'll be a lot of gas, because on PulseChain, like first few weeks, dude, gas will be dust. Like, it won't even be measured in like pennies. Like, it'll be free.
All right, Maddie Allen was asking who's speaking now. He's smart, so I added Sanchez Davey to the scroll on the bottom there, so they can see that.
We actually we had a brief exchange on the Twitter Spaces the other day, Maddie. I just brought up some comments, and I just want to say, I know you've had gotten a lot of flack from the community for bringing up your points, but I really appreciated your civility and cordiality on the Twitter Spaces the other day. I appreciate the skepticism that you're bringing. Even though I'm pro Hedron and you have your opinion, these conversations that we're having, really we're solving the problems of the system. Just like before, early in Hex, we didn't understand what the share was. It was a collective conversation that was happening in the community. Things like Hedron, liquid loans, as the system as a whole is evolving, it's the conversations that we're having that are allowing us to solve the problems, to optimize our personal bags, and as well as allow other people to take advantage of these systems faster. So, just the obligatory thank you for the criticisms and the civility and being willing to have these conversations, Maddie. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, well said. Well said. I completely agree.
Well said. Pulser says, I was late to Hex, early to Pulse and PulseX, but why can't someone come up with a loan protocol for Hex similar to liquid loans so people don't keep dropping Hex price? And I don't know. I think that someone obviously will. I think the thing that has kept a lot of people from doing stuff is the ETH gas fees, right? And that's part of the reason that liquid loans is focused on Pulse and PulseChain, because liquidity is where they're getting a lot of their infrastructure IDs from.
Code, yeah.
Supposedly.
That's why they're taking all the code and forking it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
But so but it's a dead project. It's like screwed because ETH gas fees were so high. It's like broken.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, you're forking a broken project.
And so I think when we see Pulse drop, I think it's inevitable that we're going to see the same sort of protocol for Hex that we're going to see for Pulse on liquid loans. That's my guess. I'm not working on it. I'm not founding anything. But yeah. And then ProHexer says we can now make Cuatro Cinco HSI stakes because of the T-share price will be insane expensive. So this HSI NFT Cuatro Cinco will be over a few years very expensive. So I think they're just saying that these, because of the T-shares going up in value, that these wrapped ones will kind of follow that curve of how much harder it is to get that.
That is the speculation. Yeah.
So instead of speculating on what the price of Hedron's going to do, it's probably better to speculate on what the price of a B share is going to do, and then extrapolate the utility of a HSI stake.
Interesting.
Or Hedron.
And that's the distribution model of Hedron and the way it's tied to the share rate. I've been thinking about that a lot, and just how there's like a surplus of Hedron just out there right now. But like, man, when you think about it and you like understand how fast that share rate's going to run away from you, the exact same thing's going to happen with Hedron. Like, you're just not going to be able to get it. I mean, I'm looking at like the stakes that I have and how much mintable Hedron I'm going to get versus how much I can get off the market, and I'm just like, man, I'm not going to be able to get the same number of T-shares in the future, and I'm not going to be able to get the same amount of Hedron, which means this amount of Hedron I'm going to get on the market. It's a unique opportunity that really has a time on it. Yeah, that's been kind of some of the thoughts I've been having on like specifically where we're at now in terms of this whole system.
Well, like we were saying earlier, this moment of limbo where everyone wants some dry powder on hand to take advantage of all the volatility and craziness that's going to happen. And like you said, you're watching the T-shares slip through your fingers every day and get harder and harder to grab. So it's like the meme of the sweating dude with the two buttons. It's like more T-shares, more dry powder. We're all like in that same bucket of like, what do we do?
Yeah, accumulation mode, as Kareem likes to call it. Always be accumulating, always be building your bags, you know?
Yeah. Yep. ProHexer says also more people are buying up Hex to make HSI for longer stakes. It's bullish. The Hex supply will decrease faster. And that's really what Alex was predicting too, was he was predicting this could sweep up all the supply. And once the price hits a certain number, it dumps, like people can't resist the temptation to take profit. So you get that cycle of like, the price goes up, people take profit. Price goes up, well, basically it's the Hex chart that we've seen over the last 2 years. The last 7 months has had a lot more drama and dynamics into it than just people dumping. But that's true. Yeah. SJ reads Sci-Vive. Again, check out our YouTube channel. So early, Heart. Yeah, Hex. And he says Hex to 1 million. So
2027, right?
Completion Fell says my aunt from California said to me last night, "What's crypto?"
Jeez. Just be like, don't worry about it, Auntie. Don't worry about it. Have another cocktail.
People want Maddie to jump on. Maddie, I believe, is waiting for a flight, but he is welcome to come on. Benny Blanco, it's a community of hodlers, but hopefully there's some more dumping. I want to scoop more 6.0 Hedron. So yeah, Hedron is silly cheap right now. Not cheap enough for USCG vet, but cheap enough for Benny Blanco. He wants to keep grabbing it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to reiterate an analogy of how early we are. Human Hex Trafficker, I guess won the 5555 last night. I guess they're. Is that at the workshop or is that the Staker app one? I wonder. Comment below. But I was going to say, everyone says, they talk about getting in something on the ground level. That's a saying in businesses. You want to get in on the ground level.
Ground floor. Yep.
Hex is a miso silo 50 stories deep inside the earth right now. That's where Hex is right now. We are 50. We have to take an elevator to get to the ground floor. That's where we're at. I know.
Where are the people who are into Hedron then? If that's where Hex is.
Yeah. The center of the earth. I mean, the birth of a coin is always the wildest time.
This is one of the first times I've kind of felt like at definitely the beginning of something, but like I'm ahead of the curve a little bit. I didn't get into Hex super early. I got into my first purchases were around 2 to 3 cents. So I caught like right before that, just like massive run up, which was crazy and spoiled me. But that was a 3x away when everyone was like celebrating the penny. So like there's a lot of Hex history I wasn't there for, and with Hedron and PulseChain, I'm like, all right, like I'm ahead of the curve a little bit. This is kind of what it feels like to be in early on something that I assume and speculate is going to be massive.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
And it's kind of funny because even though you're like a newer classman in this experience and you experience it 1 to 2, 3 pennies, and we were just experiencing the exact same thing at a different decimal point.
Yeah.
And in the future, people are going to experience this at $1, $2, $3, $4, and then 10 to 20 to 30. It's going to repeat. So we have that experience in common. And apparently my camera likes to overheat. I'm going to turn on my little fan here.
We turned out the lights.
This is how that's when I'm at my most attractive. It's when the lights are out.
That seems to be a common thing for people. Cameras overheating constantly. They just like combust.
Well, now that I kind of started my own little channel, I need to start upgrading equipment a little bit. Maybe once some prices start going up.
There you go. I'm a huge Elgato.com fanboy. This is the Elgato green screen. I got the Elgato face cam webcam. It never overheats. I got the Elgato wave mic. Couple $100. You get the whole streamer kit. Couple $100. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got the 4K Elgato thing that was supposed to turn my camera to 4K, but it for some reason it worked one day when it wouldn't before. Someone's asking Maddie Allen if he has considered claiming his Hedron, and then Stakio Hex says, where can you see Hedron prices? And I'm guessing Uniswap is the closest you're going to come to a Hedron price right now.
I'll say a dirty word.
Spooner.
Yeah, or Nomics. Clay Collins. Curse your name. Yeah.
He's got to basically like use a mouthwash.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
After he
But you
says
can go
it.
to Nomics, I guess, if you have to. I don't use Nomics anymore though. I don't. Yeah, I prefer Uniswap or Matcha. Just go right to the exchange and take a look.
Yeah, and I'm more than willing. Like I'm planning on waiting at least 2 years if I have to for the Hedron price to be worth taking profits, or to use to bid on the HSI stakes. Because I mean, like, if you can buy an aged like stake, that's beautiful. I can't see any OG Hex can turning down some T-shares that you can no longer get.
Yeah. That's something I give more thought to.
The feeder is a geezer. That's not nice. That's not nice at all, John Smith. I disagree. I think he's hip. I think he's cool. And I want to be his friend. So, John Smith, I reject your geezer comment.
I'm in my mid-30s. What? What?
Joe says, I'll tell you, trying to catch the last minute Charlies in Hedron Telegram chat is pretty annoying. I've been trying to get the word out for months. I thought Hexkins did their own research. The last minute Charlies in Hedron. I'm not sure if he's saying like
new people. Well, they just found out. I mean, it's brand new. So
okay.
Their last minute Charlies on the first day. That's jeez, bro. Sure, you were in the chat for months before it launched, but it's the first day. Come on.
Yeah. Benny Blanco is saying it could do 1000x without much effort. If it does 1000x, then that means that Hex has done 10 or 100,000x. So I'm cool with that.
I can give a cool metric that I kind of picked up from the Hedron chat to kind of for you to wrap your mind around what valuation could be, and that's the fair value of Hedron. And the way you calculate that is the dollar value of B shares divided by the average stake length in days. And that's essentially the average price you have to put into the Hex system to get a single Hedron. So that's kind of like the fair value of what each Hedron is. And if you do that calculation, it's $0.002. So like a fifth of a penny. So this is something you could use, Is it overvalued? Is it undervalued?
according to that calculation, it's 10. It's like 100x undervalued. It's 100x down.
And then start taking that formula and start plugging in like conservative moon math on Hex. What happens when the T-share price is 25K and Hex is 10K, and it costs $25,000 or $250,000 to get a single T-share without any bonuses. Take that 250,000, divide it by, keep the stake length the same. What's the Hedron price? That's around 10 cents. These are the maths you can do to start seeing where this thing could go.
Wow.
Videos to come explaining all of this stuff. Don't worry, guys.
Nice, very nice.
Cryptosloth.
And do you have any videos out yet of Cryptosloth?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got 3 videos out. I actually posted one today. I'll see if I can drop my channel in the private chat here.
Yeah, drop it in there.
Dropped one today, just kind of first day of Hedron live. I just wanted to give some of my thoughts. About 5 minutes. Something happened at the end of it, so I'm gonna have to re-upload it. But I have a video like 101, what is Hedron? I talked about what the launch phase is, and I'm just gonna slowly produce content whenever I have some time.
You were the one that were trying to do the link, and for some reason it wouldn't let the link, and I'm not sure how to undo. Maybe I don't want to undo the link thing in there, but is it got this?
Links in the chat.
Is the profile pic the CS with the blue background?
No, it should be just the sloth that I had as my avatar.
Okay, I see one here. Yeah, there's actually 2 crypto sloths here.
I posted the link in the private chat in the StreamYard.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that, and I'm actually subscribing to you right now.
Hey, thank you.
You bet. That's like I said, we need like 1 trillion streamers on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of I've always wanted to produce some content just as a means to streamline my thoughts in like a digestible way, mostly for my own kind of gratification and edification. But you're putting these hours into making like this polished content. That's what polish for my stuff. But you want an audience, you want it to go somewhere, people to see it. And with all the knowledge I've kind of accumulated in crypto in my short time, mostly in the Hex ecosystem, I was like, the market's pretty saturated. Most of the stuff in Hex is covered sufficiently and effectively. And then when Hedron came out, like, there's my market. I understand this, and I can capitalize, and this is where I feel I can productively add to the conversation. So
that's awesome. Yeah, you found your niche, and it's a new opportunity, and slide right in there. Totally.
Yep. And now, hey, look, a couple of weeks later, I'm talking to freaking David Feather on Hex Ray Vision. Like, what's going on now?
Yeah.
Every time I talk to David Feeder, I get like all fanboyed out too.
Get out of here! Get out of here,
dude! I know what you're saying.
And I just watched that testimonial that you posted about a year ago.
The old video. God, that was my first. Man. Oh, jeez.
I was like, man, I like that guy. I appreciated that one a lot. It was great.
Yeah, I tear up every time I see that. It's
that was a DM to Richard. That was a private message, man. Yeah. So.
Love to Dance says, can you buy Hedron direct via exchange without staking Hex? Yep. Jawa says, yep, on the DEX. Just go in there and boom. So, wow. It takes noobs to grow an ecosystem, right? Yep, that's true. Everyone's complaining about the new people in Hex, the new people in this. It's like, new people is a good thing. Okay, like we want new people, we want growth. Bobby Legai says, I think legacy stakers should assume the responsibility for defending the new derivative price in liquid auction. It's not a job we asked for, but whatevs. So
it's an opportunity, dude. That's a blessing, man. You mean I get to snipe freaking stakes on the auction house with free Hedron that I minted?
I don't think we're gonna have to defend anything when people understand what they're getting or in there. So these are not standard noobs. They're last minute, no research. They ask stupid questions without reading a damn thing. Noobs. Jawa, chill. It's good. We're good. Calm down, Jawa.
Yeah, have a beer. Relax. Because I don't read the old Hex Telegram channel. Yeah, it's people asking questions, and
it can be frustrating.
It's been 2 years, so I get I feel you, but for Hedron, it's brand new. It's brand new.
Yeah, it's like if you speak Spanish fluently and then someone walks in that knows the 10 words I know, and they're like, agua, baby, bathroom, and you're like, no. You and your friends are going to get a little frustrated and have to take a breath, be patient with that new person. And that's what we got to do. Like, it's a new language that people are learning.
Yeah. Yep. And the more people we can have the patience to teach the new language, then they can speak it with us and we all win.
Yeah. What's the price for Hedron? If anyone knows, just throw it in the chat.
Yeah. I'll link the dirty site. It's right here. It pains me.
Yeah.
There you go.
Who's got good info on using Matcha? Maybe how to bid on Matcha tutorial? Has David Fitter done anything like that?
How ironic! I did it last night in my video on YouTube. I showed you how to buy a Hedron limit order or how to sell the limit order. I did it last night. So
I'm gonna be going back and taking notes on that for sure. Awesome. Thanks, dude. So should feel compelled to claim even if you decide to wait until later to starve the Hedron SA address of the bonus copy.
Yes.
Yeah, if you want.
It's good to start. It's good to starve the SA because then it's more highly likely that the ASMR bonus kicks in. So yeah, that's a good move. Actually, that's good for everybody.
Maddie Allen says he hasn't decided yet on claiming the Hedron, and Java says he wouldn't judge Maddie. So yeah, I'm oh my goodness, I'm like Richard Hart here, dude. These comments are gonna disappear by the time I have a chance to put them on here. We got another person. We got Hex Live joining us.
What's up, guys? Dude, it's lit.
Dude, Hex Live, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us on this chill Saturday, a day that things are happening.
I like it.
And parties are about to start next week, and Hexicans are just going to continue to lose their minds.
Dude, I'm psyched. Thanks for having me on, guys. I never stream. I watch you, Hex Ray Vision. I know Fetter for sure. And I haven't met you. Well, what's your name?
Cryptosloth. Nice to meet you. How's it going?
Nice to meet you.
House. Yeah. I gotta admit something. All my friends and family, I'm like, I got a YouTube, right? Like, you should, because they ask me questions about Hex and crypto, and I'm like, I have a lot of videos. I have newbie videos, like my Zoom workshops are made for brand new people. And like a week later, I'll be like, hey, did you check out those videos? And they get like embarrassed. And they're like, actually, I found this guy named David Feeder. Or like I've been watching a lot of Crypto Coffee lately. And I'm like, great. No, if you're watching that, if you're watching Rags and Coffee and Feeder and these other OGs, dude, watch them. Because they're going to give you some better information than I am. I think that's why I'm always bringing them on my show.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It depends on the day.
Yes, depends on the day.
Hexicans have the best streamers, hands down. No community can compete with the Hex streamers.
None. Crazy. It's insane. In some of the other kind of ecosystems that I kind of traverse a little bit, they have communities and like they're there, but man, it's nothing like the Hex community. Like just bar none. It's crazy.
Yeah, and there's someone for everybody almost at this point. We're starting to get a lot of lady or female streamers. So if you want to listen to a female, we got them coming on, and I think that's awesome. We've got older people, younger people. We got what's his name? War Dog. I'm butchering the name just because I'm trying to think of it right now.
Who's it?
Gerardo.
Gerardo. Yeah.
Gerardo, dude, he's going crazy trying to fork the OpenSea right now, right? And so I've just been watching some of that.
Yeah. I sacked for that.
Yeah, he's cooler than I'll ever be. Like if you're in your 20s, I'm gonna give you like War Dog's or Gerardo's stream and be like, check this homie out, or Hex Tangent.
I love his
I heard that I was watching the Late Show with the Australian Hexicans, and it was funny because I got in the same trouble that they did. They're like, dude, you got to tame it down with these hot chicks in bikinis. because I'm scrolling through Twitter and my wife's looking over my shoulder. She's like, what are you doing over there? I'm like, it's Hex research, honey. I have to figure out what Hex Tangent's up to and how he got all these hot girls into his apartment in Australia, which I thought was illegal. I don't know. It's
Oh yeah. I've been a Hex Tangent fan since before Big Payday, and even he had concerns and hesitancy about Hex back then. And it was funny to watch. He actually dumped on the Big Payday, but then like scooped right back up. Like it was crazy times, man.
Yeah, awesome. Cookies and Crypto agreed that free Pulse is a powerful onboarding strategy. Are there any ways that free Pulse prevents people from spamming free claim on multiple wallets? What do you guys think?
Probably based on IP address, just like the faucet for the testnet. You do one a day per IP address, but you can VPN, change your IP address, and just do it again. But you got to keep flipping your IP. So if you want to sit there and do that all day for one pulse per every 3 minutes, go ahead and grind it, bro. It's have fun.
That was a great idea, the faucet. That's awesome for onboarding too. Like I wanted to write a botnet to take all the pulse out of there, but like, if I was too bored or whatever. But like that was an awesome idea. That's so great. And we need it. We need a faucet. I mean, who has one on mainnet? Nobody that I know of.
Yeah, there's no ETH faucet that I know of. Actually, maybe back in the day when I was doing Ether roll, there was a little faucet that would give you like a few gwei, and you could start gambling with that. But it was a long time ago. Hex price dropped because of war and COVID. They didn't help.
Macroeconomics affect all the markets. So
Didn't we have like 119 million or billion stakes coming out this week with all this other crazy sacrifice and stuff going on?
I'm not sure. I haven't checked the staking chart in quite some time, actually. But could be a lot being minted. Yeah, a lot of stakes coming up.
Yeah, liquid loans got a lot. I mean, I still haven't sacked for liquid loans because I hate selling my Hex, man. I've sold very little of my Hex, and I just hate doing. I am gonna sack for liquid loans as my current plan, but it just pains me. I'm waiting like an idiot. I'm not a good trader. I'm not good at that stuff. So I'm just waiting, praying the price goes up, and then I'm going to sack.
Yeah. Thank you very much for hit the thumbs up there, Benny Blanco. Go ahead and hit Cryptosloth.
No, I was just saying that's smart. Yeah.
And then after day 101, it's going to be really interesting. So Hedron has 100 days of bonus, and people are wondering if the OA, who has an insane amount of T-shares, is going to jump on one of the bonuses, or maybe give people the bonus like it has in the sacrifice phase before, and then jump on afterwards. I don't know. It'll be really interesting to see if the OA does anything with the Hedron claim.
Yeah, I don't expect it to. I wouldn't bet on it, but it could. The OA could claim alt Hedron on day 101, and then it would be the #1 wallet because it didn't print any bonuses for the SA. So that would allow the Hex OA to literally take over Hedron and be the #1 wallet in one click. But I don't expect that to happen at all. That's like a less than 1% chance. Like Richard doesn't give a shit. He ain't clicking no button.
Yeah, that'd be like picking winners and losers, right? Like Richard's going to bet on himself for sure.
Exactly.
But
he doesn't have time for Hedron. He doesn't even care, I bet.
I think that maybe the OA would, like you said, let the SA do its thing, rather than try to compete with it or knock it out. And if the SA follows, the model that's been set forth by the OA, then the SA is going to be a good steward and a benevolent protector or benevolent for Hedron. So let's hope that that they both can succeed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm betting on it. My money is in there. I bought some Hedron, bought that dip. Thanks for everyone selling today. I bought that 63% dip today.
There you go, man. Feels good. That was juicy red candles.
Yeah.
It's like that in a year from now, I just want to say real quick, that could be like the ultra bottom. Imagine that, like on the chart. It's like, day 1, 50% dump, 60% dump. Yeah. And then it never came back forever.
I couldn't live with myself not buying that because I'm I'm bad at this stuff, but I'm just sitting there. I'm like taking care of a baby with a bottle. I'm like, where's my treasure? I'm setting up my laptop, and it has Ubuntu, so it's a little harder to get your your hardware while it's working on it.
I love picturing you like trying to type with your toes. Yeah, you're holding the baby. You got your toes up there trying to type. Then your password.
My baby's like slapping the keyboard. I'm like, no,
extra zeros. No.
Market sell.
I didn't buy a lot, but I wanted to get in something. But the gas fee on Uniswap was $70. So that hurt a little bit. Freaking Ethereum sucks. Such bullshit.
Oh, I know. PulseChain, save us, please.
I'm so looking forward to it. Oh man.
So I just jumped on into the devil's website, nomics.com. And it says Hedron is at 0.50152. So we're at the sixth decimal place with a 1 with the price of Hedron today or right now.
Yeah. So, if that goes to 7 zeros and a 1, if it dumps 90 from here, dang, might be worth putting $5 in. You might be surprised even what that gets you later.
Right.
I imagine those prices feel similar to like early days in Hex on that original dump, where you're just putting in like a little bit of money and you're just getting like so many tokens back. And at least now we have the I guess wisdom to know like what things can do versus back then where it's all kind of new and like we'll have all these tokens, but they're kind of like got a bunch of million tokens for $50. Is it really worth that much?
That was exactly it. I think ETH was like 80, and you threw it in, and you got 1.5 million Hex.
Yeah.
And then here you go. You got 1.5 million Hex. It was worth $80 back then. You're like, okay, here we go. If you held that till today,
you're just sweeping it up off the floor.
Stake that till today.
Muggsy asks, wouldn't the price of Hedron go up due to the need for the token for payments, etc.? And this was the dynamics we were talking about before. There are 2 burn functions, but there's also the creation of Hedron with every B share, right?
And actually, if you want, I can kind of go into a little bit of all where the different the game mechanics behind it for the supply and demand of Hedron, kind of like the different points. The different ways that price appreciation can happen. If I can kind of explain each of those, if you guys want, real quick. Yeah, so it comes from essentially, I've identified 4 places: the distribution model, the premiums that need to be paid on advances, the liquidation auctions, and then finally speculation. So the distribution model is essentially a scarcity model where the amount of Hedron distributed is tied to the number of shares in the system. So as the shares get exponentially more difficult to obtain, so does Hedron in the way that it's distributed. So that's on the supply side of things, where it's just less of it out there able to be minted or obtained. But of course, that's not buy pressure. You also need buy pressure. So the premiums from the advances that you have to pay, since those are added on top of the principal, you have to go onto the market somehow and buy those. Of course, there are more advanced strategies where you mint from your stakes to pay that off. So that's just burning the supply. So that's again a supply sink. But for a lot of them, you will have to go on the market. So that's some native buy pressure. And then obviously the liquidations, where you're going to bid Hedron to liquidate the stakes and obtain them, those are also going to be burnt. So that's another supply sink built directly into the system. Now, of course, when we're looking at crypto, these are just the native ways in which that promote price appreciation. But we know that the value of the coin, the price of the coins is really not tied to these fundamental utilities. That last point, speculation, that's where you get the crazy amounts of price appreciation. So the first 3 are the native ways that are incentivized in the system, and then the way that those 3 incentivize people to speculate on it, that's where most of the buy pressure is going to come from.
I completely agree with that. That was a perfect summary. Yes.
Oh man, wow. Green candle incoming. Thank you for that.
Yeah. And, does CMC also gatekeep Hedron? Do you think Hedron will slip through the gates unnoticed because it's not called Hex?
That's a good question.
And here's another question: is Pulse and PulseX get gate kept on CMC?
Probably, yeah. I think that CZ is going to have just bad blood for Richard. Absolutely, yeah. I would expect those to just be page 3. Hedron might be page 3, possibly. I won't even type CMC into my browser, so couldn't tell you. I'm not giving them any traffic.
Yeah, only 13 billion hex available. Then it's gone. That's not much at all. It's going to disappear.
That's a good point. Hopefully, I mean, we hope, right?
Yeah, and he's thanking Bob, the guy's thanking us for clarifying something a few minutes ago. Yeah, he says one risk of Hedron outside of the OA play is that the Hedron SA has no competition in the auction. So all your default HSIs belong to the SA. So they're saying, hey, the SA's got an unfair advantage on the auction. And I say to that, great. Because I have a feeling that the SA is going to grab all these stakes and sit on them and lock all the supply, keep the supply off the market.
And burn its
the
own
supply is
Hedron.
not, yeah, that's, and now maybe it won't, and maybe it's an unfair advantage, but that's what you get for writing your own software and creating value and a product in the marketplace. You get rewarded. So if you know how to code, if you know how to market, if you know how to stream or do anything, then you should be rewarded for that. You know, I mean, it puts us at a disadvantage, but I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's a fair founder reward, right?
A lot of people seem to have like a problem with like founders like getting rich off the things that they create. Like it's really, I don't understand it. It was like, yeah, well, the person who made this is going to have an unfair advantage over all of you plebs who are getting into it. And I'm like, yeah, they made it. Like this isn't like a big deal. And kind of, I hope the person who created it, who has invested time and energy and money, has a large stake in it because they probably want to protect the thing. Like that's where the incentives are. They're not incentivized to destroy their creation. They're incentivized to create it.
Yeah.
To protect it.
Yeah, they're the #1 shareholder. They want it to continue to be awesome. Yeah, because then their portfolio still looks amazing. Yeah, definitely, it's their baby.
Crypto Panda in the house. What's up, Crypto Panda? Do you have to mint to get the Hedron copy on Pulse, or does it work for claiming? My understanding is the claiming is copied, just like a good accounted stake is copied.
Yep.
Right.
Correct.
Yep. Definitely.
Yep. You can just claim. Everything will be there.
Bet says when hundreds of billions of Hedron get burned during the auctions and loan payment, and this supply diminishes, Hedron's price will do well over time. And yeah, that's what I see happening as well. Now, here's a question. How long do the HSI stakes have to function the way they're supposed to before you're willing to give it a go? For you, David, it was yesterday, right? Like
I volunteer to go first.
It was like 2 hours old. You're like, let's give this thing a whirl.
Yeah, 10,000 hacks. Here you go.
Let's give this thing a whirl.
Sure, somebody's got to do it, right? I'll take the bullet.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm scared to do it now, but I'm always scared with everything. So there's that. Nothing against Hedron. I like that guy Alex. I like the way he talks. I like a lot of things about it. I don't really like how, it removes that delayed gratification thing. I don't really like that, but I like Alex. The code looks good. I grazed the code. I'm not I didn't dig deep. I'm not a Solidity programmer, just a normal programmer forever. Yeah.
Well, you're a developer though, so code. Yeah.
And it looks good. I thought it looks good. You look at people's code and it's crap. Like everyone, and the guy like said all these beautiful words, and then you look at his code and it looks like shit. And that happens all the time. All the time. And their fingers move really slow. But like it looked good, and I like the way he got it audited. There's a lot of eyes on it, so what? If I create some big stakes, I'm gonna have to think about it for sure. If I'm gonna create some big stakes, I'm gonna have to think about it for sure.
Yeah, because the smart contract risk.
Yeah, try it out. Yeah, I'll try it out with like a little bit, but in terms of like, lots of money, I'm a little hesitant right now.
The only risk that I kind of came up with thinking about it has to do with kind of what happens to your HSI stakes once you take an advance on them. Certain functions are now locked out because you've extracted that value early. So it's like, oh, okay. Well, you know, we're in complete control of it because you can choose whether or not to take an advance or not to lose that optionality. But it's like, oh, okay, so there's a contract that's able to lock me out of maybe certain functions of my hex stake. That was the only thing I could think about where it's like, oh, you can start speculating, oh, what if like there's like nefarious code in there that allows them to go on the back end and do that. Something like that. The audit kind of dispels those things for me, but that is something I thought about where it's like, oh, when I participate in a certain part of the functionality, I'm locked out of things that I would otherwise be able to do with just on go.hex.com. So, you know, for those people who haven't made it, think about that. You got 10 days to do it, plenty of time, no rush. Or 9 days now.
If I put my head in the space of like somebody new with just brand new money, you know, I'd want more risk. Like if I just had a little bit of money, I want to risk more. I mean, now I have a little bit, so I'm a little more risk averse. But if I was brand new, if I could put myself in just a brand new crypto hexagon, probably should do it, right? Because you're going to get the Hedron too. You need some capital behind you. You know, you need to scrape that capital up. Maybe even though it's, you know, a little more risky, I would probably do that just because I would get that Hedron also. And if I was broke, you know, like you got to make some money, you got to take some risks, you know.
Some dude in the comments named Hex Live said they just bought some Hedron and got a good.
That
price.
was me. Yeah,
I know.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I just thought it was funny that you were talking.
I have my crypto computer up right now, and I'm like kind of about to pay some gas because I'm looking at the prices.
What do you guys think about this? Crypto Panda, unless of course the Pulse devs decide to manually remove Hedron contracts from the fork to be determined. They haven't removed complete trash from the code, like even some copycats and some nasty coins. So why would they remove something that may? I don't know. And
some of
it makes sense to manually remove it.
I've come to the opinion on that you know we've all been working under the assumption from the whole time that PulseChain was been announced that everything is getting copied. The entire system state is going over. That's the baseline assumption the entire conversations have been going off of. I need positive evidence to the contrary to go off a different assumption. So like, is it possible? Yes, it is technically possible. But that's just not where the conversation has been, and that's not where the community's understanding has been. So I need more concrete, like, yes, people who participate in Hedron aren't going on the PulseChain before I seriously factor that into my decision making.
Yeah, and Richard has lightly said that he may remove like utter scams, but like Hedron's not that, man. I mean, it's not even close, really. I mean, it's not close at all. Like Alex is out there all the time talking, and people are grilling him like hard. I mean, forget about what Maddie just said. You know, that's another stratosphere. But like the last 2 months, and he's so calm. Yeah, I couldn't do what he did, being calm like that. I'm half Sicilian, you know, like I can't do it.
He's basically inviting them into his living room and baking them cookies as he's patiently explaining the same concepts and you know, negative discussions over and over. Benny Blanco says you can scoop up 500 million for $1,000, and Jawa, not to be outdone, said he did it for 5 honey.
Wow, 5 million Hedron for $500.
Yeah, crazy.
Those are crazy numbers.
Shit.
I thought I got a little better price than that, but that was at 12:30 today Eastern.
Yes, COTG says, yo guys, what's the website you use that shows the original cost base when you made your stake? Stakehex.today will give you an estimate of what it thinks your original stake cost that day based on the price and the amount of hex that you put in.
Hey, you just made a purchase.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, and that one is the one that does the future predictions. That's stakehex.today. And Jiminy Christmas, there's so many. And here's David. This is your last video right here, right?
That's Cryptosloth's channel.
Okay. So this is Sloth's channel. So jump on Cryptosloth's channel, subscribe and like those ones. Definitely, just like Cookies and Crypto says, do that. and Hedron is on V2 and V3. So, and JJ Hex says, yeah, Hedron could be liquid loans for Hex, never end stake. So you could just be using your Hedron to take profit if it gained enough value, and just roll your principal and your interest, right?
Yeah, pretty much. We could survive off Hedron and never sell Hex, right? Ever.
You guys want to know another thought I've been thinking about, the interplay between Hedron and liquid loans? It's actually pretty cool.
I'd be curious to hear.
So liquid loans is essentially a traditional lending platform where you put up collateral and you get a currency in fiat, basically back USDL. And this essentially is equivalent to a long position if you're using it as leverage to buy another position for it to go up. Hedron, I think fundamentally is a shorting system because you're getting an asset that you can sell to then buy another asset or hold it, and then the price goes down and you rebuy it. So now we have two different leverage platforms that do the exact opposite thing fundamentally. Liquid loans is for borrowing at the bottom. Hedron is for borrowing at the top. We take advantage on all parts of the market, baby.
Wow, you're right. You're right.
Damn it, I don't even follow shit.
When
Damn, I have a lot to learn over here.
Hex goes down real low, and maybe Hedron's doing okay, you can go to the auction house, spend your Hedron, and buy a bunch of cheap Hex stakes.
Yep.
So if there's ever a downturn in Hex, use your Hedron to get more. I got you.
If Hedron's ever pumping hard, and it's getting heated, the RSI is oversold and everything like that, you do your advance, you pick up anything that might be cheap at the time, let it even out, and then you get your stuff back. Prices plummet, collateralize some Pulse, pick up whatever's cheap, price goes up, pay your loan back. Like you got leverage options on the tops and the bottoms now. It's crazy.
That's cool, man. That's a new revelation right there. Wow.
Damn.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's exactly how this works.
I'm glad I'm getting some of these ideas out and sharing it with people. I appreciate you guys listening.
This is good stuff, dude. You're teaching all of us.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I'm horrible with this stuff.
Hetty says, hi, David. What's the best way to validate that the claim mint function only reads your address? Looking through the code now, but getting confused AF. I would refer back to that previous video that I linked from a random cactus. So you go to at a random cactus on Twitter, and they have a video where they're going line by line through the code, showing where it's allowed to read and how it reads and the permissions that you're giving it when you connect. So I would go to a random cactus, or I don't even remember how I was reading it before, but it was way wrong. Hedron's HSN sounds more like a t-shirt onboarding tool.
Yep.
Yeah. It's an expansion pack to Hex. It's a little extra features and functionality.
Yeah. Well, and think about it. Let's say we're 3-4 years in the future, the price of Hedron's up significantly, and you can onboard someone and show them that they can take profit that same day while they're paying their future self. Like, hey, you wanna treat yourself? Here's some of that money back right away that you've already invested. That would be a pretty interesting onboarding tool, and especially if PulseChain's going, so they're not losing their ass in fees.
Yeah.
So most of the liquidity is on the USDC pair of Hedron.
Good. I mean, it's not tied to any other currency, so that's good.
SJ just wants to hang out in the green room. Come on, hang out in the green room, man. We'll have you. I'm trying to get. I was supposed to stream with Crypto Coffee today. I might have got the time zones wrong, so I'm waiting to hear back from him. So we might restart. If he shows up, then I might end this stream and start a new one, or I might be ending the stream and jumping on his. But I'm waiting to hear back from Crypto Coffee.
Cool. I was actually just about to say it's 5 p.m. I'm doing poker night with some old college buddies. Mm-hmm. So isn't that what you were doing last night, Hex Live? You were playing poker with some buddies?
I was playing poker. Yeah.
So tonight's my poker night. So.
Oh, cool.
I apologize for all of the comments that we have not gotten to. I really appreciate one here. Really quick. Shill your handles and where people can find you. First, Dave, where people find you, follow you, watch your videos.
at David Feeder on Twitter, David Feeder on YouTube. I made a new video last night. I do a full demo of Hedron, and I show you how to place limit orders on Matcha. So check it out.
Awesome, awesome. And then Hex Live, do you got videos?
No videos. I'm just at Hex_live. I'll be in Vegas. If you're a IT person or a programmer, hit me up in Vegas so we can talk some shop. Yeah, you can find me there.
Awesome. And your Twitter handle is also Hex_live?
Yep.
Awesome. So follow him. And then, of course, Cryptosloth. What are all your handles? The place people can
find me at Cryptosloth. Yep, Cryptosloth here on YouTube. It's kind of hard to find me just through the search engine, but they posted a link to go find that in the live chat. And that's where you can find all my videos. I'm SlothCrypto3 on Twitter. That's where some of my confusion was, because it's backwards from my Twitter handle and my YouTube. But yeah, go give me a follow. I'll be posting videos periodically every once in a while. If you want more stuff about Hedron, that's kind of my focus now. It's been awesome being on, guys. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
And then I'm your humble servant, Hexray Vision. I actually am paying a social media manager now to so you can find me Hexray Vision on places I shouldn't be, like Instagram. No one wants to see, me twerk or in a swimsuit, but I'm on Instagram now. Facebook, if you're 50 or older. I'm on I think I'm even on LinkedIn and Pinterest. I don't know. I'm everywhere at Hexray Vision. So follow me, check out my videos, subscribe and like my videos. I'm trying to reach as many people as I can, because like I said, we're deep in the basement, guys. We have so much information to share and so much evangelizing to do to spread the good word of Richard Hart and the ways that he's improved our lives and given us freedom. And so shout out to Richard Hart. Follow him wherever you can. Watch his streams, even if your wife complains in the passenger seat, just do it. I'm just saying, listen to those Richard Hart streams. He's got a lot of wisdom. So I can't thank all the people watching and following me. It means the world to me. And I really appreciate you guys coming on and hanging out. This has been cool. So
totally. I will see you guys in Vegas.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you guys in Vegas. Come to Vegas
sweet.
Weekend.
Nice. I'll see you guys in Vegas. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Later, guys.
See ya.
Take it easy.